Oh, okay everyone, how's it going today? So I'm currently stuck in the garage here and I have the air system that I bought turned on to cool me down. So what I'm doing here today is finishing off the guards, the backing panel that holds the front guard that I made previously. So this is the one, well, two of them I made last week. Just want to point out, I need to be careful here because I actually damaged the tendon on my middle finger of my right hand at the start of the week. So I actually done that gardening, pulling ivy off a stone wall. So here's the backing panel. Here is the front part of the guard, and what I'm trying to do here is create a lip that sits around the backing panel so that I can mount this front guard to the backing panel. Obviously the backing panel requires the slots for the shaft of the pump and the motors yet, but I will do that at the end just to point out. So what I need to do today is form 1, 2, 3 of these, four, but there's one spare here just in case I mess up. I don't think it'll happen because it's quite easy. So what I'm doing here is following the perimeter of the jig that was used to form the front face of the guard, and me doing that will allow me to form this. Let me see if I set this in position here. So the idea is for me to set the flat bar on the backing panel and tack it here and there and everywhere around it. Obviously I need to weld two of them together, so mind that all the rubbish in the background there. I need to weld two of them together to do this, and when the two of these flat bars are complete, when they're rolled, I will trim them at 2 points, both bars, and I will TIG weld them down here. So basically it will be like a mirror image of each other. So here's two on the ground already, that's done, so I'll just lay these out. So at the minute they're a wee bit too long, so there's obviously, when you roll with the rollers there, the 3-in-1 press brake, you end up with a flat spot at the start. So I have allowed for this, so at the end of each one of these bars I need to cut it. So I'll put the camera back on, or the phone back on the stand here up nice and high so we can see what I'm doing. But as I say, there's the front guard. I'll just demonstrate that for anyone that hasn't seen. So this front guard was formed on that jig. If I raise that front guard out and I match the bar to this timber piece, if I bring it up level the whole way around, it's nice and tight. So the idea is to make the flat bar identical to the jig on the inside rather than the outside, so that the front guard slides over this flat bar. And then what I'll do is I'll tap it with the maybe I might use 5mm dome head screws like those, but they're 6mm, and I'm going to be welding a washer to the guard itself in maybe about 4 positions, maybe here, 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 here. And as I say, oh, the phone rotated there. As I say, it will be this flat bar will be tapped, and I will be going through to meet the flat bar. So I'll put the camera on the stand here again. So the phone's pretty high up today. Hopefully it goes well because I'm about half a metre away from the phone. Oh, nearly fell. I'm alright. Just trying to line this up. Nice and square. So there you go. I'm going to fix this mess here a bit first. one, the final one. So I'm rolling through this mark. I'm stopping here. At the side I will be rolling through this mark. So that's the smaller radius, and this is the larger radius. So I actually forgot to back the rollers off there, so let's make it too much. That's okay. So it's better to go one part at a time. So what I'll do is I'll bring the phone down nice and close now. Hello everyone. Okay, so I'll try and get this set up. Okay, so hopefully that's not too bad. Okay, there we go. So, for anyone that's just come on, what I'm doing today is I'm forming this backing panel, well, two backing panels for these guards. So I need to create a wall, a flange, to mount the front guard to the backing panel. So this is the backing panel. What I need to do is create a flange that fits around this perimeter, but it's offset 3mm in this way into the center of the guard. So I'm nearly done here. I'm just going to roll the last one, and I'm just going to demonstrate bringing it up to spec. So I don't need this. Now I'll bring the camera in nice and close. Okay, that should do. So this one is already matched to the jig. This one's just a spare. I probably will need this one because I think I made a mess of this one. So we have four. Two of them will be welded together. So there's two pairs. And there's two pairs because there's two front guards because it's a tandem compressor. So what I'm doing here now is I'm matching this flat bar to this face, and with this one I went too much, but I can work it with my hands. So that's really it. So just thought I would do a wee video of a demonstration of rolling those. I'm going to stop now in a couple of minutes, but this full video will come on my channel very soon. So I'll just do a wee final demonstration before I wrap up here. So if I set this on this face like so, and I bring it out to the edge, well, I need another set of hands. So if I bring this out to the edge and I line this mark to my jig, so that's where the radius starts of the small radius. And the same goes for this one. So this should line up nice and neat, which it does. I just have to bring it out to the edge here and lift this up like so. So I need the 4 of them matching. Then I'm going to cut them, weld them together. Then I'm going to weld them to this face. And when that's complete, I will create the slots on this backing panel with this flange welded to the perimeter of the backing panel here. And just one final thing before I wrap up here. So this guard, as some will know, was formed on this jig. This jig matches the guard as so. So when I create these flanges, or when I form or place these flanges on this to match the jig, they should fit nice and neat to this bar on the inside. If I get this off again, need to watch my finger. So the flat bar will sit nice and tight to this bar on the inside. Then I will place 3 or 4 or maybe 4 dome head screws to the guard itself. So I'm going to wrap up here, and the full video will come on my channel in approximately 2 weeks. I might have to do 2 videos because there's so much work in it. But there was 2 of these created last week. A very complex shape to match the belt of the compressor and the motor. So I could have made these square, but me being me, I went all in and decided to make them nice and fancy. So I still need to finish off the welding of this yet, but I will get there. It's kind of a slow process. This has to be welded in the jig again, and I have to place the tin foil on it and stuff. So I'm going to wrap up here, and thank you for watching, everyone. And that's it. So 2 of these, and 4 bars. I might do another live stream before the main video is finished. We'll see the crack. We'll see how it goes. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.